Hello, it's Saturday the 12th of November and this is your Birmingham News Weekend magazine. Now, I'm here with you at this time every week to take a look at what's going on around our area of Birmingham, Solihull, the Black Country and beyond. Yes, hello again and welcome to the Birmingham News Weekend magazine. Coming up on today's show, we'll be taking our regular look at what's up on this week's community notice board. We'll turn to Carl Jones for his regular look at the silver screen. Des will be joining me a little later on for a look ahead to some of his what's on highlights for the coming week. Johnny Doon will be here to give us his pick of the gigs. Jason Forrest will join us from the Milk Bar for another celebrity chat. And we'll remind ourselves what's been going on around our area too. And it's all within the pages of this week's Weekend magazine.
So then, let's turn to the community notice board. This is the news that you bring to us.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
You've joined us from the lowdown.
I know, bringing the lowdown to community news now.
Oh, I like that, yeah. Now, if there's something you'd like us to mention, then please do get in touch. But, as always, give us plenty of notice.
And if you do want to get in touch, then as always, we'll let you know how in a few minutes.
Right, first, over 190 unemployed people in the borough have job interviews in the pipeline after attending a recent jobs fair, which took place at Walsall College's £11 million hub. Now, the event was solely dedicated to jobs available in the health and social care sector, and it attracted 17 local care providers looking to recruit new staff.
The first event of its kind, organised in partnership between the college, Job Centre Plus and Walsall Council, saw job seekers who have expressed an interest in working in the industry invited to attend and given the opportunity to meet employers and then apply for jobs on the day. Roles available included home support workers, domiciliary care and residential care workers.
Now, in addition, 10 people have enrolled on to a Care to Make a Difference course at Walsall College to help them gain the specific qualifications they need to work in the industry. Now, on completion of the course, the college will support them to arrange for jobs, to apply for jobs and arrange interviews.
Sounds fantastic, but to find out the next time they hold a jobs fair, just do a search online for Walsall College.
Yeah. Now, Black Country charity Access to Business, in partnership with Prince's Trust and Wolverhampton University, is holding a free event for anyone who might be interested in starting their own business or those who need more help to grow their own business. Now, the event will provide free help and advice from a range of experts, including qualified business advisors, solicitors, accountants, local funders, who all want to see growth in enterprise in our region.
It all takes place on Thursday, 17th November at the Hayward Suite at the Molyneux in Wolverhampton, and Access to Business will also be showcasing a range of businesses they have supported recently, giving visitors an opportunity to learn from the experiences of those who took the leap to start their own business.
It's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Now, visitors to the event can get expert advice from qualified business advisors, the HMRC advice, opportunities to meet other newly self-employed people to share their experiences. Wolverhampton City Council, Economic Partnership and Investments, advice from banks, solicitors, accountants, insurance companies, information about training and local support if you're looking for work. You can also meet professionals and listen to a number of guest speakers. So much going on there, isn't there?
Such a mouthful too.
Oh, yes.
So if you're interested in this networking event, get in touch with Carol or Josie on 01902 572 397 or email Carol, which is CAROLE at accesstobusiness.co.uk.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Next, Birmingham City Council are reminding people that the winter opening hours at the city's 5 household recycling centres are now in effect.
Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
No excuse now. And just a reminder, though, that all the sites are closed on the 25th and 6th of December, which is Christmas Day and Boxing Day. You probably guess there will be, but it's worth knowing anyway, isn't it?
Central England Cooperative Funeral Care is set to host a Bollywood extravaganza to raise money for a charity that supports disabled children.
Now, the event will take place from 7:30 on the evening of Friday, the 18th of November at the Irish Centre in High Street, Digbeth, and it'll raise money for the Society's corporate charity partner, which is New Life Foundation for Disabled Children.
Tickets are £10. They'll include traditional Asian cuisine, a Bhangra DJ and henna art. And the money raised will go towards a plan to the society to raise $1.5 million for the charity.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
Absolutely.
And although New Life is a national charity, every penny raised by the Central England Cooperative is helping Midlands children right here in the Midlands. So for more information about the event, you can call 07850 00 1965.
Fantastic. Now on to jazz fans. They're in for a real treat this next few weeks with Lichfield Arts presenting a couple of concerts at Lichfield Guildhall.
The first is on Sunday the 20th of November when jazz performer Sarah Gillespie, or is it Sarah Gillespie?
I'm not sure, I'm happy you're doing that bit.
Yes. Either way, she appears with her star-studded quartet. Now she's got a quirky blend of poetic, streetwise lyricism, blues, jazz and left field folk. In fact, one reviewer described her as a touch of Dylan with a mix of Joni Mitchell and rap-like percussiveness.
Sounds great.
I like the sound of that.
Fantastic stuff. And Lichfield's Jump and Jive Band plus King Pleasure and the Biscuit Boys are both making their annual visit on Saturday, 10 December. They've been billed as the zaniest rhythm and blues band in Europe, guaranteed to give a great night of swinging jump and jive.
I would love to see King Pleasure and the Biscuit Boys. They used to appear on Blue Peter years ago.
Did they?
Yeah, they were a favourite one of the presenters, Yvette, and they were brilliant on there, but I've never seen them live.
Well, I'd like to try a bit of jumping and jiving too.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, so if you want to find out more about this, have a look at the website, which is www.lichfieldarts.org.uk, or phone 01543 262223.
Solihull Council and Age UK are urging vulnerable residents now to prepare themselves for the cold months ahead with the Winter Warmth campaign. It's offering free advice, information and assistance to residents at risk from the cold. It's not just for elderly or unwell residents, but for anyone who needs staying warm this winter.
It is important. Now, the Winter Warmth helpline is open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, so grab a pen and paper because the number is coming up. And it offers help with emergencies such as
providing emergency heaters and electric blankets, not to be left on overnight obviously, providing warm clothing, finding a tradesperson for emergency repairs, practical help on making your home warmer this winter, advice on finding a cheaper energy provider, benefits and debt advice.
It's all useful. So if you want to call the Winter Warmth helpline, here's the number you'll need. It's 0121 704 8080. 0121 704 8080.
Right, well, we're at it. Here are some tips for keeping warm this winter.
Ah, right, okay. Well, first, keep your internal doors closed to stop drafts. Have at least one hot meal a day. Have hot drinks throughout the day. Layer up. Many layers of clothing are best. Use an electric blanket or a heat pad. Close your curtains at dusk. Ensure your heating is 21 degrees Celsius in your home. I know ours always is. Keep your heating on overnight and close windows if you're able to. Contact your energy supplier to find out about social tariffs or priority register schemes. That's an important one.
Absolutely.
And also ensure your home is well insulated and your boiler is serviced.
And the Winter Warmth helpline again is 0121 704 8080.
Now, Solihull residents will be shimmying and twirling in a sponsored Dance Fit-a-thon to raise money for cancer research on Sunday the 20th of November. Now, it'll take place at CTC Kingshurst Academy Sport Hall, and the 2-hour session will include Zumba, I'll have to tell my wife about that, Bollywood dancing, fit steps and clubbercise. I'll have to tell my wife about that.
You have to tell her everything, I suppose.
She's mad for it all. I ought to, because I need to lose some weight. And dancers rocking the best Christmas fancy dress will receive a prize for their efforts.
In the West Midlands alone, 38 people die every single day from cancer, and each year 200 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in Solihull. Cancer Research UK has saved millions of lives by supporting research into all types of cancer through the work of over 4,000 scientists, doctors and nurses. Great job.
It's a great cause, isn't it? So plenty of contact details for you if you're interested in raising money for the cancer research at the Dance Fit-a-thon.
To take part, you can register at www.solihullactive.co.uk. You can grab a sponsorship form from Smiths Wood, Kingshurst or Chelmsley Wood Libraries, or Solihull Connect Chelmsley Wood.
Or if you'd like to make a donation, just go to the website, which is www.justgiving.com/fundraising/dancefitathon.
And for more information about Cancer Research UK's work, or to find out how to support them, you can visit www.cruk.org or call 0300 123 1022.
Lovely. So there you go. That's what we found pinned to the new community notice board.
Have you been sitting there hoping that we've mentioned something, or you'd like to know something coming up soon that we ought to be talking about?
Well, get in touch, but make sure, as we said, let us know in plenty of time.
So how do you get in touch? Well, there are many ways, but your best is the email, which is news@madeinbirmingham.tv.
Or if social media is your thing, and it certainly is for some people, then you can look us up, send us a message, and on Facebook and Twitter, for example, we are at Made in Beeham TV, all one word.
Absolutely. And we'll have more for you at the same time next week. Have a good day.
Thanks, Daphne.
Cheers, bye.
Right, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, Carl will be here with his regular look at Silver Screen, and then Des will join me for a look ahead to what's on during this week. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the Birmingham News Weekend magazine. Des will be joining me shortly for a look ahead to some of the highlights of what's on in our area during the coming week. But first, it's time for a good look at the Silver Screen. Fresh from his movie slot in the Lowdown, here's our movie mogul. It's Carl Jones.
Time now to take a look at what's hot and possibly what's not at West Midlands cinemas this weekend. I'm at the Light Cinema in Walsall, rounding up the action from the world of cinema at the moment. There's no doubt about the movie everyone's talking about this weekend. That's a film called Arrival, starring Amy Adams as someone who's trying to communicate with aliens who've mysteriously appeared on the skyline. Jeremy Renner and Forest Whitaker are also in the cast of this one. This film is directed by Denis Villeneuve, who was the man behind one of my favourite films last year, Sicario. And if you really like your sci-fi, this is probably one of the highlights of the year, I think. It's got flavours of 2001: A Space Odyssey about it a little bit, so a good thumbs up for that one this weekend. Now, Birmingham-based filmmaker Steve Green has been out and about for us again this week, this time up in Manchester, talking to a cult French film actress about controversial work that she did many, many years ago. Steve, over to you.
Hi Carl, I'm here in Manchester for the 27th International Festival of Fantastic Films, the UK's longest running festival of fantastic cinema. At the tender age of 22, the French actress Edith Scoub starred in Georges Franju's controversial 1960 thriller Eyes Without a Face. Because that was the same year that Hitchcock did Psycho and Michael Powell did Peeping Tom. It was quite a year for making films that were very striking, that perhaps was somewhat ahead of their time. The audiences were not quite ready for them yet.
Yes, when the film was when it was projected, people were vanishing. It was they were not habitués. Yes, they were surprised to the.
What's remarkable is that it's only your second screen appearance, and yet you're able to show so much just through your eyes. I mean, most of the film you are wearing a mask, so you have to project all of your acting talent through your eyes. I mean, did you find it particularly difficult?
I was very young. It was quite my first experience of acting. And I didn't really realize it was such a chance for me to be such quite enfermé in my mask.
Yes.
And I couldn't speak as other people. I was always a part other, and if I had to express things, it was with my body and with my eyes. That's all.
It seems to make it more powerful, though, because you have only got that very small area to work with, and yet you are able to project such a powerful performance.
Yes, it was very special as well, but I didn't realize that because I was very young, and I didn't realize it was such a strange film.
Kept on working ever since. I mean, you were in the Brotherhood of the Wolf in
Yes.
2001.
I think Gans, the realizator, the filmmaker, he was fond of Georges Franjeux. That's why he chose me to play in his film. I've made a lot of things different during all the time, because I made a lot of theatre. And
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
and
you.
And to put the real eyes to the real face.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more movie news and views next week.
Thanks, Carl, and you can see Carl again during the lowdown all through the coming week. Right, joining me now, as you can see in the studio, is Des. Hello.
Hi.
We're going to look ahead to this week, see what's on around the area, because
Yeah.
this is something you do in the lowdown as well, isn't it?
It is, yes. We were at, Gary and I were over in Harborne at the Plough, having a very nice time there,
I
have to say.
noticed that, yeah.
It's too early to do anything too serious, but it was nice. But yeah, there's some really, really good stuff coming up this week. Got to start off Thursday, German Market.
Oh, of course, it's that time of the year, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. And this year, it's actually running right through to the 29th of December.
Oh, right.
They're going to have Christmas Day off.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's actually full on right until the 29th.
See, that's going to be interesting this year, because obviously Paradise Forum is being redeveloped.
Yeah.
So is it going to be split into two halves?
I don't know. I haven't seen the actual details of it.
I'm sure somebody said that to me, that it's going all the way up New Street, all the way through the square outside the town hall.
Yeah.
And Chamberlain Square, is it?
Yeah.
But that's where the development begins, and then I'm sure in
it is, yeah.
Centenary Square, from the bridge by the hotel.
Right.
I'm sure it's going to be there.
It's Centenary Square is not really the German market, is it? It's like local
Yeah, I
craft
suppose so,
market.
yeah.
And also the lights are being switched on Thursday night.
Oh, anybody famous?
Don't know. Again, very
You should
quiet.
do it.
Very
Just
quiet.
go over, flick
Yeah,
the
me
switch
and
again.
Gary. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun. Wouldn't
That'd
it?
be cool.
No doubt we'd press it and it wouldn't work. And
good.
also the following on the Saturday,
Yeah.
the ice rink and the big wheels open.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you always know when it's Christmas when you know that you see all those things appear. I've got friends and family who go on them every year.
Yeah, I can't skate to save my life. There's a couple of really interesting things. You know, like what do they call it? Where they have an actor or somebody has an audience with.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a couple. On Monday night, Michael Parkinson and his son are doing one at the New Alex.
His son's called Michael as well,
He
isn't
is,
he?
yeah.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. And on Thursday afternoon at the Grand in Wolverhampton, Sir Roger Moore
Ooh,
is going to do one as well.
Bond. James
Yes,
Bond.
James Bond. Sean Connery was my favourite.
Was he?
Yeah, but I liked him in The Saint.
Ah, well, yes. He's done so many things, hasn't he? You know,
Yeah.
Depends how.
Ivanhoe.
Of course, yes. Late
Ivanhoe.
50s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Well, Alan Partridge's favourite actor, Roger Moore.
really.
Yeah, let him down on his show once terribly.
A couple of good theatre things as well. The Full Monty's coming to the Hippodrome.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, with all the songs. Tom Jones, Keep Your Hat On. What a great song.
Oh, yeah.
And Errol Brown, of course, you know, he made a massive comeback for Hot Chocolate. You know.
That's right, yeah. That was 1997, wasn't it, the film?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's part of the LGBT Shout Festival going on as
right.
well. There's one at the Rep on Wednesday. It's a guy called Tony Timberlake. No relation to Justin Timberlake. He's an actor. He's been in Les Miserables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's written a thing called Looking for John. It's about John Curry. Remember the skater?
Skater, yes.
Yeah.
Of course. He died, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and he's trying to get recognition. He was magical. You know, absolutely brilliant. So
He predated Robin Cousins, didn't he?
oh, he did. Robin Cousins got all his influences from
Yeah.
John Curry.
Wow.
Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant. I remember watching it. You know, everybody stayed up, didn't they, till about 11 o'clock
That's
to
right.
watch it, watch the Olympics, and
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. And some music, some really good music stuff on there. Here's a really interesting one. And Gary and I talked about this actually. Next Thursday at the Garrick in Lichfield, there's a show on called Cheryl, Mike and Jay, formerly of Bucks Fizz, with Bobby McVeigh. And the reason they call it that is because Bobby G, who was
Yeah.
the original singer, his wife owns the name.
Oh, right.
And they've got their own band. They had a big fallout. They've got their own band. They're touring round, and so they won't let the others use the name Bucks Fizz. But the others say that, well, they're doing cabaret, and it doesn't really represent what we do. So there's like this toys out of the pram situation.
Oh, does it matter?
I know.
They're from the original Bucks Fizz. I remember the documentary about that a few years ago because what was his name? David Van
Dole. And that, yeah.
There was a big. We're not going to go there.
No.
But there was a big argument, and yes,
The Burger Boy. He had his own burger van in Brighton at one point.
didn't he?
Yeah.
And he ended up on I'm a Celebrity, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dollar was good. I actually enjoyed Dollar.
They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of more highlights. Do you remember Turning Japanese?
Annika.
Turning Japanese. I
Oh
think
no, that was something else.
The
Wasn't it?
Vapors.
The Vapors, yes.
Yeah, well, they've reformed.
Oh.
And one of the guys, the guitarist, is Ed Bazalgette, who's, I think it's his uncle, is the other Bazalgette who did all the cooking shows and everything on
yes.
BBC.
Yeah.
Well, he's the guitarist in the band.
Right.
So they're doing the Slade Rooms in Wolverhampton. That's next Saturday. Laura Mvula, Birmingham girl, she was up for a Mobo. I don't think she won, but she's really sort of taking the scene apart. She's doing the O2 Institute in Birmingham. And do you remember Dalian, our mate Dalian? Right,
Yeah.
he's one of his favourite bands, Simply Red.
Oh yes.
They're going to be at the Genting Arena on Sunday because it's 25 years since they did Stars.
25 years.
25 years, can you imagine that?
God, I feel old now.
And here's a secret,
Yeah.
not many people know this. I produced their first ever radio session for Radio 1.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh well. What did
Yeah.
they do on that? Do you remember?
They didn't do Money's Too Tight to Mention, although that was the single that was out at the
That
time.
was the first one, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
The first big one, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Mick Hucknall. He was one of those guys, you looked at him and you thought, whatever it is, he's got it.
He gets a lot of stick, doesn't he?
But he's got
actually-
it.
yeah,
He's got
yeah.
it. You know, it's what we call the factor. He's got that. I don't know.
Just that certain something.
If
You
you
don't want to
could
see the X Factor, but yeah.
If you could actually bottle it, you know, you'd make a fortune.
No.
Yeah.
Well.
And he had, and I've just actually put my phone down. Vix from Fuzzbox.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. They've got a brand new single coming out next Friday, I think it is. Something about Supernova.
Right.
So hopefully the Lowdown are going to go down and have a word, because I actually played bass with them the last time they were on with us.
I remember that. Yes.
I had the glitter, I had the scarf, I had the full business, and we actually played one of their tracks in the
She's
studio.
great. Yeah. I used to like Fuzzbox anyway, but her music is terrific.
Yeah.
That little ukulele. she
Yeah,
plays as
yeah,
well.
yeah, brilliant.
Nice one. So then, time for a break now. Still to come, we'll be visiting the Milk Bar for another Star Chat with Jason. Plus, Johnny Doom will be here with his pick of the gigs. And right after the break, we'll be looking back to see what's been making the news in our area this week. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the Birmingham News Weekend magazine with me, Lee Bannister. Time now for a look back across the week from Birmingham News. And you might have noticed that we're looking a little different, because on Tuesday night, Made in Birmingham launched on air. We're a new TV station for the Midlands, so let's have another look at things to come.
So Made in Birmingham has a few key aims, and one of them is to provide local content to the local people of Birmingham, Black Country and Solihull. There'll be a ton of new programming. We're bringing news to you a few times a day, and following news every time will be our entertainment show, The Lowdown. That'll bring you all of the things that as residents of the area you might want to know, events, things that are going on. We're also bringing a little bit of new content which we haven't really seen before in a local channel, so we're bringing some bigger shows that you may have seen before on BBC and Channel 4, and over the coming months we're planning to introduce a lot more local content for the people of Black Country, Birmingham and Solihull. Well, local TV has its challenges, and Made Television has been really good at supporting local television and what that means for the cities that it's involved in. What that means to us and you guys as the viewers is that now we'll have more reach, more support, and be able to get more of the stories that matter to you over. And what we're doing, or the way that we're going to do that, is now we'll have studio hubs based all across our area. So we'll have the Black Country covered by our Walsall studio, we'll have Birmingham covered with our Edgbaston studio, and soon we'll be adding in a Solihull studio as well. So we'll really be able to get to the heart of the stories and events that are going on in the area. As an area, Birmingham Black Country and Solihull has always been really strong in its sports identity. We have many football clubs and many other sports around the area. We've always tried to do a really good job of that, and we're going to really improve on that further. We currently cover all of the major press conferences for the football clubs. We now are looking into rugby, ice hockey and many other sports aside. So over the coming year or so, you'll see us really grow our sporting offering.
And of course, this week has been Remembrance Week, and events have been taking place in towns and cities across the region. We've been following events happening in Birmingham, where the Lord Mayor raised the Royal British Legion flag to get proceedings underway. Norman Bartlam went along to pay his respects.
Birmingham's period of remembrance got underway when the Lord Mayor raised the flag of the Royal British Legion and met members of the armed forces in Victoria Square. At Birmingham's Warstone Lane Cemetery, poems were read and a wreath was laid at the Sword of Sacrifice.
We will remember.
I'm part of the Jewellery Quarter Research Trust, and we exist to research the Jewellery Quarter, but specifically we're interested in the two cemeteries. And today we've worked with the Commonwealth Walgrave Commission and the Living Memory Project, and we've been able to, through their funding, put on a commemorative event with the Sherborne Sea Cadet Band.
In the Council House, the Lord Mayor was chief judge of a schools competition to design a poppy hat to commemorate Remembrance Day. There were around 800 entries from schools across the city. At the Hall of Memory, preparations are now underway for the main remembrance service with the dedication of a traditional garden of remembrance. The Lord Mayor laid the first wreath. Lots of other events will be taking place throughout the week across the West Midlands in the build-up to Remembrance Sunday. But for now, this is Norman Bartlam for Birmingham News in Centenary Square.
The number of people using food banks in the Midlands has reached a record high. That's according to new figures that show nearly 50,000 people required the use of food banks across the region last year. Erin Wiggins reports.
10 years ago, the thought of a food bank was somewhat unheard of, but today, in the West Midlands alone, nearly 50,000 people are reliant on them. New figures from the Trussell Trust food banks have revealed that more and more people are finding the need to head to emergency food suppliers, one of them being the Black Country Food Bank, based at the Rock Centre in Walsall. But why are more people becoming dependent on this form of charity?
The majority, unfortunately, is people that either their benefit has been delayed or benefit has been sanctioned, but mainly the benefit's delayed for one reason or another. So in that period of time they're not getting any food, and so they need to go, obviously, to the food bank, turn to food bank.
With all of the recent cuts and changes to the benefit system, it's meant there have been delays in people receiving their benefits, in some cases up to 8 weeks. Some have argued that people on benefits have become more reliant on food banks as it allows them to spend their money elsewhere, but those affected feel as though their hands are tied.
I'm having to use my benefit money, which has been cut down anyway, to pay the council bedroom tax. So I've got no choice to come here.
It happens, doesn't it? It happens to anyone, you know what I mean? End of the day, like. So, yeah, good idea. And they're helpful, do you know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, I'm suffering really with debt problems at the moment, and I find that what the government is giving with people, such as myself, with bipolar, is not really good enough, to be honest.
If I didn't have it available, I'd be out on the rob. I'd probably be in jail. Better off, I get 3 meals a day.
The West Midlands is one of the most common in the country for people that use food banks. So the question remains as to what can local authorities do to reduce the numbers.
With the cuts that's coming from government to local authorities, that's affecting what we can actually do. You've got the bedroom tax, you've got the universal credit. It's all having an impact on people. I mean, they used to give crisis loans, they no longer do that. We've been lucky in Walsall, we've still got some of that money left where we do support people. And we've been able to do that with the likes of the Black Country Food Bank and the Trussell Trust. Without their help, we wouldn't have that money.
Donations from the general public are more important than ever, but just how the government plans to combat the figures remains food for thought. Aaron Wiggins, Birmingham News.
Now, after years of seeing independent retailers squeezed out of local high streets and shopping centres by the buying power of chain and superstores, recent data shows that in the first half of 2016, more independent outlets opened than were closed down. It's a big change compared to the same period last year. The West Midlands is apparently leading the way, and our reporter Ed Carter explains why.
Independence seems to be the way to go for West Midland high streets. New data from the BIRA has shown the area gained 159 units in the first half of this year, a contrast to last year's first half loss of 22, the greatest increase in the study.
Well, I think the retail industry went through a major structural change with the advent of the internet. So I think the larger operators, the larger brands have now realised that actually they can put most of their items on the internet, so they're now operating largely through a click model, which means now that the high street has had to change. So as the big boys move out.
In a world increasingly based online, independents seem to retain a certain charm.
Maybe brands that aren't readily available everywhere, and also you find that maybe the shopping centres are all a little bit of a formula. It's very you kind of know what you're going to get in most shopping centres. They, to a certain degree, you could be anywhere around the country, plonked in a shopping centre. You know, you wouldn't know where you are. And hopefully with an independent, you're going to get something that's a little bit different. You're going to cross over on certain things, but there's certain brands, and hopefully that we can offer that maybe the big brands can't be bothered with, you know.
And there's certainly a sense of pride held in what they do.
We used to have a smaller shop just round the corner, and we actually had to move to a bigger shop to cater for how busy we was getting, because we're now the only independent bookshop in the Black Country, and so we've been doing quite well for ourselves.
I think we're just seeing a shift towards more innovation from the high street, and we're seeing better products, and we're seeing a culture where local service is great, and people are being served by people from the community. In the past, you'd have one visit over the weekend to a large retailer for your shopping, but now actually people are doing smaller shops on a much more regular basis, so therefore you tend to now gravitate towards the smaller shops.
The national figures for indie shops popping up shows a net increase of just 4 over the same period. Still a reversal of last year's net loss of 194, but the West Midlands are certainly leading the way.
Welcome back to the Birmingham News Weekend Magazine with me, Lee Bannister. Right, now we turn to the Milk Bar with Jason Forrest. And as ever, the Milk Bar reflects what's happening in and around our area, often with a focus on the city of Wolverhampton. Now you can hear it on the radio and as a podcast. And now Jason's here each week with one of his guests.
Wolverhampton's Arena Theatre plays host to Pop Drama. Their first night is on the 7th of November. To tell us more, Neil Redding and Sean Hartman. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
All good here. And tell us a bit more about the project itself, Neil, and how it's came to be at the Arena.
So it's a Creative Europe project which has been funded by the European Union to find new playwriting across the continent. It's a partnership between ourselves at the Arena Theatre, the University of the Arts in Târgu Mureș in Romania, Teatro Diego Fabbri in Italy, and Caia Granada in Spain. And across those four organisations, we've put a call out to find new playwrights writing in each of those four languages, and this is the chance for an audience to come and see them.
And of course, they will be in English as well, so they've all had to be translated before they've been brought here.
They have, yeah. So the winning play from each country has been translated into English, as well as the other four languages. And over the next month, in each of those countries, then the play will be presented in the home language, so that over the next 4 or 5 weeks, the audiences in all four countries get to see all four plays in their native language.
And it's quite an honour for the Arena to be doing this in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. We were invited by Teatro Diego Fabbri to join them on the project, and we're the only ones in the UK who are pushing this forward. We had over 65 plays submitted to the competition, and the winning play is part of this project and will be performed in 4 countries across Europe, which is a fantastic accolade for the writer.
Absolutely. And Sean, tell us about how you're going to be involved, because you've been involved in the organisation, but you're also acting as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be acting in the fourth piece on the 28th. It's called Going Home. And yeah, between now and then, just a lot of rehearsing and looking forward to the performance.
Because these pieces, some of them have got multiple actors in them, and others it's purely a one-man or a one-woman show.
Yeah, I think there's one on the 2nd or 3rd week that's just a one-man show, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. And yeah, the one I'm in, I think, has a cast of 5 or 6, but we're all going to be playing multiple characters. So you've got everything from a one-man show to 5 people playing 30. So it's really exciting.
And how does the directing on this work? Because when you're looking at a play that's been written by somebody else in a different country, you've got to get some sort of interpretation from the writer, so you know how to be directed and what's happened there.
Well, I think once we start the process, I'll have a much better idea. I think, obviously, Neil will be directing, so I'm looking forward to that. And I think it's just going to be a case of there's going to be enough people around me, the other actors, Neil himself, and I think between now and then we'll have a good idea, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, and when it comes down to that interpretation, as you say, you are directing it for the UK. Have you been talking to the other 3 directors in the other countries?
Not really. I've had more conversation with the writers than the directors. One of the things that's really interesting from a director's point of view is that it's not like taking any number of plays from across the UK. We're talking about almost completely different theatrical vocabulary. So the way theatre is written in Romania is very different to the way theatre is written in Italy, which is very different to the way it's written in Spain, which is different to the way we write in the UK. So we've had some plays which pose particular challenges because I look at them as a director from the UK and I don't really know where to start. So it's been conversations with writers more than directors to work out, okay, what's my way into this play, what are we going to get from it, and what's the style of theatre in that country? Why is the one from Italy feels a lot more like a soap opera, whereas the one from Romania is very much a sort of political allegory for the situation in Romania at the moment. So it's been a lot of research really into not just what the plays are about, but what playwriting is about in those countries.
Yeah, very much a social background and an interesting immediate social history, as it were, of the country you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely, and a real education really in the different styles of theatre, and now over the next 4 weeks I get to work with 4 different casts, 4 different plays to try and put something together that best represents that writing, so that the audience, when they come along, can make a fair assessment, because we're going to ask the audience to vote on which play they think is the best and what they think of each play. It's my job as a director to put forward the playwriting as strongly as I can, so that the audience have a fair assessment of which play they feel is the best of the 4.
And you're used to sort of short turnarounds here, having the 1448 Festival for a number of years down at the Arena now. You know what it's like to take something and work quickly with it. And you've got quite a lot of time with this. You've got 3-4 days.
It's a gift. It's a gift. I've had the plays for nearly 8 months. No, it hasn't been that long, but it's been a few months I've had the play scripts. And yeah, we're only doing sort of a day and a half of rehearsal. But the actors have already got the scripts, which is kind of nice for us. We're employing professional actors right the way through the programme. We're expecting to hit the ground running, really. And I suppose unlike 1448, we've had some preparation time. So yeah, we hit the ground running, and hopefully in the time we've allowed, these are rehearsed readings, not full productions. So actors will still have scripts in their hands, but we're hoping we can really put some special bits of theatre together and really impress the audience.
And Sean, for you, when you're actually doing a reading, how does that differ from the usual acting process?
Well, we've had a few readings here before. We have them every sort of 2 weeks where audiences can come in and give feedback, so it's something that I'm used to. But I think, to be honest, it's a case of, while I will be having a script in my hand, I want to be as off script as possible. So it is different in the sense that, you know, I'll have the security blanket, the safety net of the words, but I do want to be as familiar with it as possible, to be honest.
So this all starts on the 7th of November. If you want to get down here, what do you have to do to get hold of your tickets, and how much does it cost?
So tickets are available through the Arena website as usual. There's also a registration page at popdrama.eu where people can register. It's absolutely free of charge, and we'll feed you, and we'll give you a drink. So we literally can't offer any more. It's the 4 Mondays in November, so the 7th, the 14th, the 21st and the 28th, 7:30 start at the Arena Theatre in Wolverhampton. I say absolutely free. Come and see some brand new playwriting from across Europe before anybody else gets a chance to see it.
So then, let's move on now to some of the messages we've received. Now, a few weeks ago, we announced that Made in Birmingham was on the way. Here it is now. But in the hours leading up to launch night, it seemed there was a lot of excited viewers out there. So thank you. And we mean this, thank you to everyone who got in touch. On Facebook, there were plenty of well-wishers and good looks. And via Twitter, Chloe Dale said, "So exciting to see Made in Birmingham launch tonight. I'm a very proud Brummie." Mark O'Brien, Tom Ross, Zebra Digital and Feathers and Wings were among the many who were excited for the launch of the new channel. Black Country Radio also wished us good luck as well. Cheers, guys. In other news, this week, the 2016 US elections. Yeah, on the morning of Wednesday, the 9th of November, 2016, the world finally knew who was going to be the new president of the United States. Now, it could be said that it was the most dreaded US election of all time, with many people across the world fearful of the results. Matthew Gibbs from Birmingham said that some were convinced it was going to be the end of the world, and others woke up completely baffled by the most frenzied and chaotic response. Although it wasn't quite a landslide victory, Donald Trump did in fact win the election, much to the surprise of the public and the frustration of many disappointed Clinton supporters. Councillor John Edwards from Wensbury said, "If Trump wins, build that wall around America. Build it high. Don't let him out." That's his opinion. Now, the response on social media has been immense, with many people jumping on the Trump train. Voicing their opinions, whether they're an American citizen or not. Now, the decision has affected millions across the globe, and those in Britain have likened it to Brexit with the hashtag Trumpocalypse. I knew I'd get that wrong. Trumpocalypse, that's it, yeah. But anyway, that's one of the most popular hashtags currently trending. And while there are some people outraged by the outcome, others, like Sam Allardyce, are enjoying the memes. Now, Made in Birmingham ran a poll at the end of last week asking whether the public thought Donald Trump would make a good president. 35% of you said yes, and 65% of you said no. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what the future brings. So there you go. If you'd like to get in touch with us about anything at all, maybe you just want to say hi and get your name on the telly, or perhaps you just want to send a message to someone on the telly, perhaps it's someone's birthday, or whatever, then on social media, we are at Made in Beeham TV. Okay, all one word, Made in Beeham TV. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Plus, of course, you can email us news@madeinbirmingham.tv. That's the website too, www.madeinbirmingham.tv. So then, it's time to close the pages of the magazine for Saturday. Now, I'll be back at the same time tomorrow, and you can catch more news for Birmingham, the Black Country and Solihull every day of the week with me at 1 o'clock, and then Mike will be here at 6 and 9 in the evening with your latest Birmingham news. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow. Try a bit.